so glad that you're here to hang out with me for a few minutes. If this is your first time to the channel, then welcome. If you've been to the channel before, welcome back. I'm just really glad that you're here to hang out with me for a few minutes. My name is Julia. I'm with Julia Sue's Stamping. I'm passionate about stamping, coloring, paper crafts, making cards, and most of all, sharing the fun of how to do all of that with you. Today I am showing a special card that's for anyone that you want to give a little surprise. It's kind of a fun fold card, and it's kind of not. We're just going to pull out all the stops with some really fun, pretty basic gray cardstock, a splash of the Country Woods Designer Series paper, and of course, I'm going to be using the trusty Labeled with Love stamp set. So I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and everything I use is Stampin' Up! I'm from Northeast Ohio. Let's get crafty. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the elements for the card today. We've got some basic gray cardstock, a little bit of the Country Woods Designer Series paper, some basic white, a bit of scrap. We're going to be using the Labeled with Love stamp set. It has matching punch or dies. I have the punch, and that's what I like to use, and that's what I have here with me today. It's really easy to open and to use, and it stores in a very slim way when you're able to close it like that. We also have the rainbow adhesive backed dots. I love these, so many of them. A couple of ink pads with some silver sheer ribbon. This stuff is gorgeous. Let's get started. The first thing we have here is the basic gray cardstock, and it's been cut to a regular card size. I'm going to fold it in the middle and get that nice and tight using my bone folder. Then I took a 1.5 inch piece and scored it here at the top. I'm going to put that down and score that as well. It's going to give the card a little bit of a surprise, like a little bit of a peekaboo for grown-ups here. And next up, we've got this really nice Country Woods Designer Series paper. I'm going to stamp on it, so I'm going to go off a little bit on the card, and the stamp set is photopolymer. So I'm going to use this Pierce mat underneath to help give a little more, to have some more give on the cards. I'm using the outline of the butterfly from the Labeled with Love stamp set and the Smoky Slate ink. We're going to go ahead and stamp it with some butterflies from the Labeled with Love stamp set. And I'm going to put them at different spots on the cardstock, on the Designer Series paper rather. Some are up higher, some are lower. And I think that's just fine. We got all those on there. I'm going to set that aside for the moment. And now that is going to get adhered to the base of the card. So I like to use the tape roller. Perhaps you prefer to have liquid glue, and that's just fine. Use whatever adhesive you like to use. And I adhere this piece down underneath on the front of the cardstock. And then I'm going to take this little flap and I'm going to tape that down on top of the cardstock, and on the Designer Series paper there. Perfect. Now we're going to take the ribbon and wrap it around and tie it into a knot. So I'm going to cut it using the paper snips. Very good. All right. wrapping it around and tying it into a fabulous knot, because every card deserves a little bling, right? All right, that looks perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim that. Trim it again on the other side. And then set the ribbon aside. And here we've got the basic white scrap paper. I've got the Enjoy Today stamp that I'm going to ink up in the smoky slate and put down onto the piece of scrap white and punch it out using the label punch. Center it as much as I can on there and punch it out. Close it up so it's ready for its next use. It's not as big a piece on the top here, so I'm going to use a little one, and I'm going to have it straddle this ribbon. Perfect. So I still have the opening there, but my sentiment is on top of the ribbon. All right, that worked. So if you don't have the small dimensionals, just cut the regular size dimensionals in half or use an edge. So the next thing to do is the piece de la resistance, and sorry if someone speaks French and I slaughtered that. I'm going to use the Berry Burst ink. And again, that outline of the butterfly. I'm going to clean off the stamp with my cleaning tool. And now I'm going to stamp 2 butterflies, full strength as I like to call it. And then I have the fill, those are the outlines. And then I have the fill that I'm going to stamp, and I'm going to stamp it off a couple of times so that it's a lot lighter, and I'm going to put that on the inside. That worked out perfectly. Closing up that ink, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut these out with my paper snips. I'll speed this up. Cuties now are ready to fly onto our card with a couple more dimensionals. Put one down here and put that little guy there. Use a couple of smaller dimensionals here on the bottom of it. I'm going to just adhere it right like that. Lifting the wings up just a little bit. The last thing is this little piece of the white. I'm going to place it inside here. And now I'm going to take the sentiment, which is the Just For You, in the Berry Burst ink. And I'm going to set it on top. And I can see just where I'm stamping it. Set it down and up. A little Just For You. The last thing is to use some of the rainbow adhesive backed dots. I'm using the Take Your Pick tool. And what dots do I want to use? I think I'll use these lighter colored ones. They're just so pretty. put them on. And I think I'll put another one over here, a small one down here, and another small one right there. Okay. How perfect is this? It is so much fun. And here's the Just For You card. It's all ready to make someone's day so special. So if you enjoyed the project, and I hope you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Everybody loves a little encouragement, including me. And remember to subscribe to the channel for more crafty goodness. So check out the website and blog for all the details and measurements. It's like a treasure trove of crafty inspiration. If you choose to use me as your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, thank you. I appreciate your support of my small business. Thank you so much for crafting with me today. I really appreciate it. And remember, a handmade card is a hug with a fold in the middle. Happy crafting, and I'll see you next time. Bye.